and welcome back from the desk below. Now, man, I was late to the party on this gentleman right here, but man, yo, what I like to tell myself, it's never too late to discover a new artist right now. And when I played this gentleman's album, now this album is only 10 tracks. I was blown the hell away from it because I wasn't expecting to get the pain and the realness because when we're in this underground renaissance, we're like dusty loops and hard hitting rhymes. Man, yo, we got like a whole life experience with ventilation right here. The whole BBM movement, man, is something very special and something that we should hold dear to our hearts as Canadians, man, because they're leading the way within this underground renaissance right now. And man, it's only a pleasure, man, to document one of the artists, man, who released one of the most standout albums of 2020. Found him through my guy Ace on Eastwood. So without further introductions, I'd like to welcome to the show, Family Game Black.
Appreciate that, real. That was a real dope introduction, for real, though.
There you go. I gotta let people know how it is, straight from the heart, sir.
Yeah.
So, I think I actually heard you before, so let's start this off real interesting now. I think I may have heard you through Ason, yes, but did you go by Black Nazi before?
Yeah, I did. I did go by and I did go by that. I had to change my name because, people, the offensive thing and all that stuff, which I don't understand because Griselda got all type of offensive stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whatever. I had to do it that way. But yeah, I was Black Nazi. I still go by that when people still call me that. But like on paper, yeah, I can't do that. It was too offensive. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, because I remember hearing you on a couple of Danielson projects. I'm like, damn, this guy's nice. And then I never knew that you reemerged as Family Game Black because I was still looking at Black Nazi. I'm like, man, where is this guy? And then once you finally get in tune, like with what's going on in the underground, it's like, oh. So he put out a 10-track album that I was sleeping on, so I beat myself up over that. So when we're getting into this, was this your first like album that you ever put out in the atmosphere? Like not no mixtapes or anything, like a full-on album?
this is my first ever,
Oh
ever,
man!
ever. Yeah,
So
yeah.
so you really, because a lot of artists they like to say, I put my pain, sweat, and blood into this, and it doesn't really show. But with yours, this felt like everything that you went through and everything that you held up inside, like it floated out magically throughout this 10-track album. And I couldn't believe that the versatility that I was hearing within these 10 tracks. I was like, damn, yo.
Yeah, man. Yeah, this my first album ever doing. You know what I'm saying? Music. How I got into it. Like I've always been into the music. Like I used to do it as a hobby and produce. You know what I'm saying? When I was younger.
Oh, you produced too? Oh, shit.
Yeah. I do a little producing too. I was doing that more than I was doing like the rhyming and stuff like that. I was doing the producing, but yeah, my homeboy, a real close friend of mine, we call each other cousins. We like real close, we real cool. You know what I'm saying? And he was pushing me to do the music over the years because I had moved over here. I had moved from Canada, from New York. I'm originally from Rochester, New York. I just happen to have dual citizenship. So my boy Cal, you know what I'm saying, he brought Ace through, you know what I'm saying, and then Ace spit for me, I spit for Ace, and just we've been connecting ever since then. But then even at that time, when I had met Ace, he was telling me like, yo, it's a whole underground scene of hip hop. They bringing back the old, you know what I mean, boom bap hip hop, and I didn't even know none of this stuff was going on, you know what I mean? So I looked it up, and I'm like, oh shit, I can actually, you know what I mean, get into this shit. So I just started doing the features. Every time they do a joint, Daniel Sonner hit me up, say, yo, I want to get you on this joint. I go to the studio, we cook up in the studio, lay some joints down, they put me on the albums, and then everybody was like, yo, you need to put out an album.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
That's how that came about for real. So I literally like jumped off the porch, like jumped out of the porch, came out from nowhere, you know what I mean, and did my album and just boom.
Now you're here. Now you got the Family Game Black. Like
now I'm here.
It's
Now,
established.
you want to know how I got the Family Game Black? So, I got Family Game tatted on my chest. That's something that me and my family go by. Like we call it, we the gang. You get what I'm saying? My family is my gang. So that's how he gave me that name because I used to always say Family Gang, and all that shit. So, yeah, he just like, yo, I'm gonna call you Family Gang Black. And then when I seen it on the album, You know what I mean? It is what it is. So
Has a good ring to it. I like it, and it stands out too. It's not something that we see every day as an artist name. It's like, damn, let me see what Family Game Black has to say. And man, you definitely do have a lot to say. So, you're from Rochester originally, but you were born in Canada by accident.
let me explain. My mother came on a. My mother is actually she from Jamaica. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But my grandmother signed for them to come over here when they were younger, so she ended up with Canadian and Jamaican citizenship. But she moved to New York when she was 19, and she been living there her whole life. And then she got pregnant with me in New York. You know what I'm saying? And then she came to visit my grandmother, and on the visit, when she was visiting my grandmother, boom, she went into labor with me. So that's how I got the citizenship. But even if I was born in New York, I would have got it regardless anyway, because as long as one of the parents is a citizen, it automatically make the children a citizen. Because my siblings, they got Canadian citizenship, and they was born in New York, so I would have got it regardless.
Oh yeah, dude, and plus like that's what's like the best of both worlds now too, because like you being made in New York, but you're born in Canada, like this is why like the music sounds so good, because like you have the best of like the East Coast and the Toronto flavor with it, and that's something like we don't see every day, because let's be real, upstate New York is killing it right now.
But Toronto hip hop always been East Coast hip hop. You know what I mean? Like, what's different between Toronto hip hop and New York hip hop back in the day? Only difference is the regions. You get what I'm saying?
That's right. I guess.
But it was still boom bap. It was still hip hop. It was still underground. The only difference is he would implement the reggae into his shit. But
Yes.
it wasn't really no difference. You got artists like that I used to listen to, because I used to listen to the Shot Clairs and the Socrates.
Ah, yes.
They was playing that shit in Rochester. You feel me? So it's the same thing. It ain't no different. Only difference that make it different is the place. That's it. You feel me?
Well, I think it's like the reggae, because like we don't really hear like like upstate New York like sample like the reggae era, like how it like in Toronto does too, because Toronto is very multicultural. Like there's a ton of different cultures that get mixed all into one. This is why like the music sounds so great. And when people think of like Toronto, they're like Drake. When I like to think of Toronto, I'm like, man, Brampton, like the Brampton, Daniel, some of them, like there's more than just Toronto. I like to tell people too.
Well, you know what it is. You know what it is about why people don't know about us, because for one, a lot of people don't even really know about us. You get what I'm saying? And it's like once people get exposed to us, they gonna want to mess with us, because you gotta understand, like I said, before Drake, who do we have as far as hip hop back in the day? We had the
Socrates.
Cardinals, you know what I'm saying? The Jellystones, all these artists, Point Blank. So like I said, Toronto hip hop has always been the underground, gritty. It always started from that. That's where it originally started from. You get what I'm saying? So for like, even now that Drake is out, it's a blessing, because like he got other people outside of seeing Drake and Tory Lanez is gonna be like, yo, who else is in Toronto? Exactly. You get what I'm saying? So it's a gift and a curse, but it's definitely more of a gift, because like I said, people just now starting to hear about us, and they like, oh shit. And the blessing thing about it is we're not just representing for Toronto, we representing for all of Canada. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I just think the people like you know what I'm saying, people who listen to the music and support the music, gotta just keep pushing it out, because whoever the people around you in your circle listen to the same music you listen to, you're gonna put them on, so on and so forth. So we just gotta keep putting it out, keeping exposing it, keep pushing us, and that's it. But we definitely that's it. We just need a little bit more exposure, because I know once they get really, really exposed to us, they gonna fuck with us.
Yo, that's a factor there, because my OG, he don't listen to like nobody new. So when I was playing like Physics of Filth, he went on this like Danielson rabbit hole, and next time he rolled up to me, he's playing Ace on Eastwood. I was like, oh, so you like BBM, eh?
You see what I'm saying? Yes, a lot of people are from that older generation who still like that music and still want that kind of music, and they don't even know that we out here. And I'm pretty sure once they find out, they're gonna be on it. So yeah. That plays a part into us too, us putting ourselves out there and marketing myself. Like that's why I've been like, me and Ace talk a lot. You know what I'm saying? We've been talking about this for the past 3-4 years. Like,
Oh wow.
yeah, like me and Ace is real cool. We real close. You know what I'm saying? From the time we've been met with the music, we actually talk. And he's not an easy dude to get a hold of, and he's not very, you know what I'm saying? He don't let everybody around in his circle. So I'm fortunate to even him have me around like that. But we've been talking about it like, yo, I'm telling you, once people get exposed to us, bro, that's it. And he's starting to see it. You know what I'm saying? He just dropped his last project, and he started, even before his last project, people was hitting him. Was like, yo, I didn't even know. They didn't even know that he was in Toronto. You know what I'm saying? He kept saying, you don't even sound like you from Toronto. But he like, no, I'm from Toronto. I'm from the East. So he's one of those dudes that reps Toronto, and he reps Toronto to the fullest. Like, he's from the soil of Toronto.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, people, in due time, bro. In due time. You know what I'm saying? They definitely gonna know.
Yeah, because timing is everything, and what I like to tell people is too, like, you can't rush greatness, because sometimes greatness will take 2 to 3 years for it to go, and then when it gets going, it's really gonna go.
But not only that too, you gotta look at it too, like with the music scene in Toronto, it's so flooded with this new type of trap music and this new era of music that. Not, it's like I said, it's a gift and a curse. It's a curse because not too many people hearing us because of the market of music, but in the same breath, it gives us a chance to create our own lane. You get what I'm saying? And you in your own lane, can't nobody really knock you off of that. You get what I'm saying? So it's definitely, and not only that, I look at it as like we the foundation and the forefront of the new generation of the underground hip hop. You get what I'm saying? So the people who always are the forefront and the foundation always have to, like, we always gonna get overlooked. It's gonna be a couple years before people really start paying attention, because people gonna start paying attention, but also people gonna be looking at us like, oh shit, if they doing it and they from here, I can do that too. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it. Just like how Cardinal and all of them gonna be like the godfathers of their era. That's what we looking to aim to be. Of course, we want the money, and of course, we want but the respect and the honor for doing this and bringing this back and being gods in our time. That would be more. That would be more for me. What I'm looking for when it comes to this. But we definitely going to be the ones to be that one. You know what I'm saying? To be the foundation. Like, you know how back in the day when they had the hip hop, you got your Rakims, your Kool Kurtz. They was the foundation, and then you got the 90s, you got the Nas's, the Jay-Z's, the Wu. You get what I'm saying? They was the gods of that era. Then you got the early 2000s, the Jadas, the G-Units, and then now, boom, it's our era. We're going to be the foundation for this. So, yeah, it's a blessing, man. I look at it like that.
And what I like about this, too, is, like, the music is, you guys don't do it for the money. You can tell, like, the passion is in there, like the way that you guys marketed your rhymes too, because like you guys could have put anything out there. It's like, yo, we're just gonna sell this, but when an artist puts his heart and soul into it with like the most heartfelt lyrics, I think that's where you win in the long run, because the audience has more of a personal connection when they hear it from somebody else. Like, oh, I know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best way to connect to the people, is you gotta be yourself and really speak who you are, because at the end of the day, you're not the only person who think like that. I'm not the only person who's been through what I went through. I'm not the only person who's, you know what I'm saying, struggling, that type of pains. So a lot of people out there is going to be able to relate. I'm just the one who can speak and say the things that they can't say. You get what I'm saying? And I just give it to them in a form to where they can relate, and not at the same time as music, so we all got a connection. So yeah, that's all it really be. That's how I look at my music. Like, I can't really be like everybody ain't a drug dealer, everybody ain't a gangster, everybody ain't a robber. We talking about the average everyday people. You get what I'm saying? So my music is for them too, but my music is chopped for everyday reality, basically. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I do with my music. I just put my life, and I just say, you know, I ain't the only one that's going through this. So I'm going to write this, and other people going to relate. I know they're going to relate to it. You get what I'm saying? 7 billion people in this world. So a lot of people going to relate to it. I've been through what I went through, or, you know what I'm saying, understand what I've been through. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Because we all have a story about our humble beginnings. And I can only imagine you, like, as a young child, looking up to, like, these hip-hop stars. Like, damn, yo, one day I'm going to be that. So who was like the one person who really talked you like into like, you know, yo, Black, you have a gift. and you need to do something with that. Who's like the one person to put the battery in your back?
I'm gonna be real with you, not to be cocky.
Oh no, no, no! Please, no.
I've always been talented in certain things and like acting and all that stuff. I've always been like that since I was young. I've always been into music and just stuff like. I've always been fond of that. Like I've always had an interest for that. But whoever like to make me take it serious was my boy Cal. Like he was the one who was like always on me. Like, yo, black. He was like the annoying. You know what I'm saying? Baby mom, like, yo, you need to get your shit together, blah, 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 blah. Like, that's how he was. He's still like that to this day. So he was the one who definitely pushed me because he knew, like, I knew it too, but he knew it more than I did. And that was a crazy thing. You know what I'm saying? That's why after when I released my project, I'm like, yeah, I got to take this serious. But Callum was the one who definitely pushed me, like, to do this, my boy.
Because it's very rare for an artist to get the first project like pushed up on vinyl. Like yeah, CDs, like yeah, that's like the standard. But for a first project to get pushed up on vinyl, like that's an.
Oh, hold on! I don't mean to cut you off. You know who used to be on me like that too? I'm gonna tell you, Daniel Son used to be on me heavy, bro. Like I would be sitting in the studio and I'm really sitting next to Daniel Son for 15 minutes on Daniel Son just going in on me like, yo, you gotta do this. Blah blah blah. Like I ain't gonna lie, Daniel Son used to push me a lot. You get what I'm saying? Like once I started working on the project, Daniel Son used to be on my head. He used to be on me. Yeah, man. Yeah, he's another one.
And that must be like just be like, cause you see like the waves that he's making now too. Like I like how like Buck Wild, like they really fuck with you guys out there. Like they repost your stuff, they buy your copies. Like damn, like you know these guys produce for Biggie, and they're messing up the Canadians now. It's like
that's the craziest thing to me. That was like one of the dopest things ever because I grew up listening to DITC and listening to dudes. So to have these dudes like holler at us and like us and want to work with us, yeah, yo, that shit dope, man. That shit is dope as hell, bro. Like, I never would have thought. Of course, when you listening to it, you always have dreams of, like, yo, I want to do this and I want to do that. Yeah. But I never in a million years would have thought that these dudes would actually be fucking talking to me. Like, little old black ass me. Like, never would have thought that shit.
Well, I like how you say that you like DITC because past guest of mine, I think that you would really sound good with OC. Because when I was hearing your album, man, I'm like, man, yo, I really wish, like, because I know they mess with Buckwild, man. I'm like, I wonder if they can get Family Game Black and OC together.
That would be dope, because I ain't gonna lie, Jewels was a classic album. I still listen to that shit to this day, bro. Like, I still listen to fucking Jewels to this day. My World is one of my favorite songs.
Yes, sir. War Games of Organized Confusion.
Yeah, that whole album, the one with him and Bumpy Knuckles, like, that whole album is a fucking... Jewels was my favorite song. That beat, I don't know, it's just... I'm a person who like beats too, because I'm a producer, and it was just something about that beat that just used to gravitate me. I remember the video and everything. Like, yeah, that's a classic album. OC is definitely a legend, man. A legend in this shit, for real.
So I was wondering on who you grew up listening to, because everyone has, like, you know, you could say, like, a random name, like, I don't know, maybe, like, Quasimodo or something like that, be, like, totally out random. So, like, who did you grow up listening to? I was wondering.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't have like a favorite artist because here's what it was. Once I learned, like, we had this radio station back home called Straight from the Underground, and it would play all underground hip hop. So from like 10 o'clock till 7 that morning.
Oh damn!
So he plays so much. Like, this dude is like, he's been doing this since the fucking early 80s.
Oh jeez.
He's like an OG when it comes to this shit. So he knows everything, artists, all that. And he don't just listen to anything underground hip-hop and it's nice, he listened to. And that's how I got exposed to it. But it was so many different artists, it was hard for me to have a favorite artist. You got to think about, we talking about the 90s. We talking about 96. We talking about, let's take out the major ones like the Nas, the Jay-Z's, the
Yes.
Let's take them out. You know what I'm saying? You got Killer Army. You got Chino XL. You got Bumpy Knuckles. You got Boot Camp Clip. You get what I'm saying? It's just so many. Roz Kaz, Exhibit. You get what I'm saying? Like, we can go on for days about how many artists back in the 90s was nice. But and it's for me to say when people say they top five, how can you have a top five? Well, look what we had in the '90s, Capone and Noriega. Like, look at all these different styles, and you know what I'm saying. So me, I never really had a top five. I think people go by top five off of success. You get what I'm saying? And I don't really look at the success because, I mean, this is a different sport. You can be successful, but you be trash at the same time. You get what I'm saying? Puffy is successful, but his pen game ain't. You get what I'm saying? His pen game ain't the best. So it's like the '90s was just the culture, period, just the music. You get what I'm saying? We got fucking what's his name, Sean Price and those guys. Like, come on, bro, it's too many. It's too many. So just the music, period. All of them, bro, all of them. So everybody in that era, just that whole era, period.
So, like, outside of hip-hop, too, did you gravitate to anything like jazz, rock, like, something, like, totally out the random, like...
I like music, period, bro. Like, my dad is a musician. Like, my dad taught himself how to play the piano.
Oh, wow.
Using the band and all that shit. Like, that nigga used to kick it with Rick James and all type of shit.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So, I always had it in me. If it's music, I don't give a fuck if it's rock and roll, jazz. Yeah, I'm a big jazz fan. I listen to a lot of jazz. I even listen to that shit right now, like a lot of 70s jazz. I think that's the best jazz ever, the 70s. So I listen to jazz. I like a lot of orchestra because I remember when I was in elementary, my teacher took it to this. You ever heard of Philharmonic Orchestra?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, my teacher took us to that, and just going there and seeing all that shit and hearing all that shit in live is a different it's different than hearing it on speakers. When you actually there, it's crazy. So that really got me into that. So I like movie themes and shit like that. I'm big on music, bro. If it's dope, I like it, but I don't give a fuck if it's hip hop, rock and roll. Don't matter. If it's nice, it's nice. I listen to a lot of what's the name too, like the old '90s rock and roll, like Metallica and fucking Green Day and motherfucking.
Wow, I never said wow. Like Green Day. Geez.
Yeah, I listen to that shit, bro. Because you know what? The reason why I listen to that shit is you can tell I got a lot of pain in my music. And when you listen to their music, you can tell like how those artists, they was real dark and they had a lot of shit emotionally. Like the dude from Soundgarden. What's the other dude? Nirvana. Like if you listen to their music, they were fucked up. They were fucked up. So I kind of relate. Because I can understand the pain of feeling that way. Or, you know what I'm saying? Going through that shit when you in a bad mental state. So they make some dope music. People from my areas don't be listening to that shit because you know what I mean. You know what it is. They just but yeah, man, I've been a fan of all type of music, bro. I don't just stick to one genre of music, bro. Music is music, and if it touches your soul, you can't control that. You know what I mean?
That's fact. That's big facts. It could be anything. If it touches you, it's like wow. Like I don't care what this is. So like coming up now too, I can only imagine how high school was for you. Like, did you go to high school in the States or in Toronto?
No, I went to high school in New York, in Rochester.
Oh, wow. So, I'm guessing these, like, metal detectors, like what we see in the movies when they do in the States.
Yeah, we had the metal detectors and all that shit. Like, but I know y'all be looking at that shit like that shit is crazy, but you gotta understand where I come from. That shit is like, it's not normal in a good sense, but it's like, it's kind of normal. But, yeah, we had metal detectors and all that stuff, man. Yeah but my high school was pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? It had, like, every high school in America. You know what I'm saying? Some high schools was better than others. Mine wasn't too bad. But we had our little shit. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Yeah.
Okay. So when you were coming up now, too, like, did you, like, know, like, Riggs, Mav, and Mooch around that time now, too? Like, were you able to see that come up?
Okay, so here's the thing. I didn't know. I already knew Mav.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I knew of Gates. Because the neighborhood that Gates is from, my brothers are from that neighborhood. So Gates' older cousin and my older brother grew up together. They like this. So I've always seen of Gates and heard of Gates and knew of Gates, but we never really like physically met until we did the music. But it's kind of like we kind of like knew each other, not knew each other, but we were connected through family and friends and shit like that.
Yeah, that's crazy to find, like, you know, like, you may have had interactions in the past, but when you really start getting serious with the music, like, it all kind of connects because like
Yeah,
everybody knows Brown Bag Money and the Cloth have like crazy chemistry when they collab together. So when to see when you guys work together, the one thing I always like to say is like,
that was on the strength of me because what happened was I didn't even know that Riggs. Like I said, when I had found out about everybody who was doing the music and who was in it, like I had only knew about Griselda because when I first met Ace, he was telling me about Conway. He's like, "Yo, you don't know about Conway? He's from Buffalo." And I'm like, "Bro, I don't know shit." Because all I did was work. That's all I did was work, and that's it. So I'm like, "Bro, I don't know what the fuck going on." So he like, "Look him up." So I'm looking them up, and I'm like, "Oh shit." And then you know how when you go on YouTube and you pull up the artists, and then similar artists to show up.
yes, sir.
So then going Lil Ethos, 38s. But I'm looking at Lil E. What people don't understand is Lil Etho and 38. They've been doing this
For a
since
long time.
since I've been in high school, bro.
Oh damn.
You get what I'm saying? I'm 36. Like we grew up in high school listening to these dudes. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh, that's when I started getting familiar. And I'm like, oh shit, this lane is back. So Future Wave had brought it up to me. He's like, yo, you heard of Riggs? And I'm like, nah. He's like, he's from your city, bro. You need to look him up. And I looked up Riggs, and I'm like, oh shit, this dude is nice. And then I saw who he was connected with. I'm like, oh shit, he connected with Mav. So I hit Mav up, and I'm like, yo, Mav, I'm over here with these dudes, and we doing the music. They wanna, you know what I'm saying, get some work in. And Sibs had sent some beats. But you know, Mav and them, they real picky. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They had picked the joint, and we had the first joint we actually did was a joint called Paul Bearers. Nobody never really heard that, but that was the first joint we did, and then ever since then we just been like connecting. And then I had brought them the tuna fish video. They shot that in Rochester with Soze and Riggs. And they had came to the city, and we had linked them up, and we had brought them to the east side, and then I had brought them to my hood and shit. So yeah, once we started doing that, they was going back and forth. They was going back and forth without me sometimes. Like, I'm like, go ahead, bro. Yeah. So that was a good connection we made, man.
Yeah, yo, because the music we got out of that, I can only imagine if you didn't make that connection.
Yeah, man, I was surprised too because, like I said, at first I didn't think Matt was going. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think he was gonna mess with us because, you know what I'm saying, he already had his thing going on and all that shit. But you know what I'm saying? He fucked with us, and he took, you know what I'm saying, he took what I said to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, just fuck with us, and you see where we at right now, bro. So yeah,
I like how
and
you said that.
they definitely holding it down for the underground scene in the city, bro. Like for real, for real.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because last year, like that's every single blog that I posted. I swear, I seen their names pop up. I'm like, damn, you're like, they're really making the waves out here with these blogs and with their music and actually it connecting to the people. And I kind of like how you said about like Griselda too, because when you punch it on YouTube, similar artists will come. What I like to tell people is, yeah, this underground combat, put me onto Griselda, and then but once I got everything out of Griselda, I'm like, I want more. So this is when I started to find like Danielson, or like Ace on Eastwood, Riggs, Mooch, and like the list goes on from there. It's like, dude, there's way more than just Griselda out there. I tell people.
Yeah, man. But you know what? I don't feel no type of way about it too. But I get it now because now we live in the era of the super fan, right?
Yeah.
So it's once they onto something, they onto something. It's really hard for them to like tune that out.
Yeah.
So I don't really feel no type of way about it. I just consistently put in nice work. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, they'll catch on it. You know what I mean? Because you know, everybody had their moments. You get what I'm saying? Moment here, then that died out, and a moment here, that died out. So at the end of the day, the best thing to do is when everybody in their moment is to take the best advantage of it. You get what I'm saying? So that's all that really be. I don't really chill about it. That just make me go a little bit harder because it's like, okay, eventually you gonna like, I promise you that. You get what I'm saying? So that's all that be, man.
Now, when you were naming your album Ventilation, I like how it really goes with the music instead of just naming it something random like The Arrival or something like that. You know what I mean? Like you actually named it something that was relevant towards your music. So when you're naming an album title like this, did you have to wait until you finish it? It's like, I'm gonna call it Ventilation.
No, I already knew what I wanted to do from the beginning.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I already had the idea. The name was what I was tricky about because even my whole process of how I wanted to push it, Finn and them was like, nah, we ain't finna do that. Finn is very like he's very. I mean, I trust him because he knows and he has a knowledge of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes me and him is like, we don't argue, but it's like, come on, bro. He's just like, no.
Yeah.
But I trust him because he know what he's doing, and you know what I'm saying. He's a visionary when it comes to certain shit, right? You get what I'm saying? Like even him taking my picture, like everybody liked the picture. You get what I'm saying? And I just looked at it as a regular picture, but like everybody liked the album pictures. But with even the process, I already knew like what I wanted to do, the concept of the album, my whole thing. I'm not one of those artists that just go and write. A lot of these artists I noticed they'll just go in the studio, play a beat, write it, put that away later, do it, and just keep going on, and then they come back together and just pick these songs, and we gonna put this and we gonna make this out. That's not my process. My process is let's come up with a concept. Let's come up with a meaning. Let's come up with a storyline. Let's come up with something so when you hear it from beginning to fucking end, it makes sense. I'm bringing you into my world. You get what I'm saying? You get what anybody can fucking write a rap, but tell a story, and make it where you capture in the person's mind because at the end of the day, you not there physically with that person, but if you can be able to connect with that person through the mind and you know we're around them, that's dope. So I always have a concept so people can understand what I'm doing and what I'm saying in my music and where I'm coming from. So it's that's how I do my album write-up process.
Yeah, because I ain't gonna front. When I was playing that album, I beat myself up over that. I'm like, how the hell did you not listen to this last year? Because I like an artist who like other artists who I've interviewed before. They're like, I'm not gonna really make a personal album like that because I want to wait. But like with you, like it's very rare to bring instantly into the world instead of like I have to go out and live it. You actually did live it, and with even the opening track ventilation, I like he didn't make no like random intros like I'm gonna be spitting the most powerful, hardest bars over the hardest trap beat. It's like no man, you took it to the heart.
Yeah, man. That was the whole purpose of it. Was just like just me getting off everything, not everything that I went through, but a lot of the traumatizing shit that I had went through in my life in the past. And you know, it's a crazy thing. Everything that I really talked about on my album was from the period that I left New York and came to Toronto.
Oh damn.
That was a crazy thing. Yeah, it wasn't even like all the shit happened. Most of the shit happened back home. Well, a lot of shit happened back home, but I wasn't there when it was around to happen. You get what I'm saying? So it was like I left New York to get away from certain shit and move out of my environment, and boom, I come over here and boom, crazy shit is still fucking happening. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of that shit was just from my whole period of living in Toronto, and my mother kept telling me like, yo, you need to go get counseling, you need to go talk to somebody, you need to like let that shit go. And I was like, yo, I'm gonna just put it into the music because that was a way for me to get that shit off and talk about. It's way more shit that I didn't even talk about.
I can only imagine because you only gave us 10 tracks.
Yeah, so like just taking my life and putting it into the music was just a way of me getting that shit off instead of like going to a counselor and all that shit.
Yeah.
But I feel like people who do have some type of mental trauma or some type of PSTD should seek some type of counseling or should talk to somebody because you having that shit build up in you will destroy you mentally. And once your mind goes, everything else outside of you goes with that. You get what I'm saying? So people need to understand that. So, yeah.
Because your mental health is everything in this day and age now, too. Because if you don't have that, you really ain't there.
Yeah, people don't understand the brain is a muscle. We can't exercise it like go in the weight room, but we can't exercise it by doing certain things and reading and certain things that, you know what I'm saying, take your mind from the negative thoughts in your mind, because once you keep having these negative thoughts in your mind, it becomes an illness. You get what I'm saying? It's like a mental illness. It's like a disease of the mind. So once you start having a disease of the mind, other shit with your body start fucking up. Because remember, your mind controls everything. Without this don't do shit. You get what I'm saying? So it's very important that the brain should be the most healthiest thing on your body before anything.
That's a whole gem right there for the listeners listening right there. So yeah, hey, if you need that, take the man's advice, because man, that could save your life one day, everyone. When you're making an album like Ventilation, what I like is the spoken words parts at the end of some songs now too. I was like, oh, like you actually like letting, like, without rhyming, you actually like speaking to them, and I think that's what's missing is like an explanation. It's like, damn, like when you speak it, it's different from when you actually rhyme it.
You know what? I'm glad you said that, because you know what? I had a whole process for my album, but like I don't want to say they was trying to rush it to get out, but they was trying to rush it because they just wanted to get me out, which I'm glad they did. But I think this would have added a little bit more flavor. So I did my own interview. I had interviewed myself. One of the producers, Slang, I said, yo, let's do an interview, and then we going to take bits and pieces of the interview and put it up to lead to the song so they can understand what the song is about. You get what I'm saying? That's why when you see Life of Pain, you see me talking about it, but that was from an actual whole interview. So I really wanted to put pieces of that into the I wanted to lead up to every song. You get what I'm saying? But we didn't get the chance to do that. But.
Yo, that's actually brilliant. So it's like, yo, I'm gonna use somebody else. It's like, yo, how about let's do our own? Yo, that is like, yo, I really wish there was more on this. So if you do that for future projects, man, that would be well appreciated.
Yeah, I might put the interview out too. I might put the interview. My boy was telling me to put the interview out, but I'm glad you said that. So when they see this interview, tell them that we should have did that.
Oh yeah, don't worry, friend. So yeah, your friend, if you see this, man, yo, we would have had more.
That's Finish Slang, because I wanted to do it so bad, man. I wanted to do it. I wanted to put that in there. Because you don't really hear that with these underground albums right now. Like you don't really hear them put like that thought process and put the skits and you don't hear them. It's just like I said, they just rapping, putting songs together, and then boom. Like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. If I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it all the way, and I'm gonna do it way better than everybody else. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna have something that stands out to make sure like you can actually go back and listen to my shit time and time again. You get what I'm saying? So yeah.
Another thing I noticed about this album now too is the track WTS and the whole vibe behind that. I was like, wow, I don't think I've heard an underground rap album with a trap beat over it.
Yeah, I had to do that because I'm a fan of, like I said, I'm a fan of music. I'm a fan of all type of music. I don't care if it's trap, hip hop. I'm a fan of it. And me doing that was just basically showing my versatility, and not also that, and just showing that we can take this beat and still rap on it, and
be yourself, too, not
be myself. But not only that, but if you a real MC or you a real rapper, you should be able to rap on any beat as long as your flow, people can understand you. Everybody understood the song. Everybody liked the song. It's a trap beat, but they still liked it because they understood, and I was actually rapping. And a lot of, I don't know, and not to say that any other artist in this lane can't do that, but that's easy for me. So I threw that. I really threw that out there, and I was kind of nervous about that, but the feedback that I got back from it, everybody liked it, man.
So did you have to go back and forth with Finn over that? Because I know how Finn's particular with the music.
Nah, Finn was with that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Finn was with it, and Finn also agreed with me when it comes to that too. Like, yeah, like, if you go on these beats, that's definitely gonna separate you from other artists in this lane.
Yeah.
Because my versatility is like different. Like I got some stuff that I recorded even for my next project is gonna be like way left field.
So has the talk with BBM and you about doing a Physics of Filth album? Because man, I love when Future Wave, Ason, and Danielson all came together. And the last two, Physics of Filth and Bite the Bullet, were amazing. My complaint, I'm like, alright, let's add Family Game Black to the third one.
You gotta talk to them, man.
Oh, I'm bringing that up to them. I'm make sure I bring that up.
I'm with whatever. Like, you know what it is? Like, honestly, we haven't been able to link up because of the whole Corona stuff.
Yeah.
But like, once stuff clear up, we're gonna start linking back up. But like, Weston ain't been real busy too, man. Future Wave been like, you see all the projects he produced last year, so like
Alvino, Regs, whoo.
Yeah, so like, yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see what happens, man.
Now this concert was supposed to be a legendary concert, but like at the height of when the coronavirus came to the North America, this show didn't happen. The show must have came up on my show like 25 times. The Family Affair show with
Yeah,
like Riggs and Dan. So were you supposed to go into that too?
yeah, I was gonna go to that one too.
Whoo, yo, that would have been a legendary concert.
Yeah, I was mad about that shit because that was gonna be like my first real like, you know what I
Oh, you
mean?
were gonna perform too? Oh shit!
Yeah, 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 yeah. I was gonna perform too, so that was gonna be like my first real big show. You know what I'm saying? And that was gonna be my first time for people to actually really see me because a lot of people ain't really see me and know what I look like and shit like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I was mad about that shit, but I know once all this shit clear up, we definitely
Oh,
probably
you guys are gonna have a lot of hits to perform on the road when all this clears up.
yeah. So I mean, everything happens for a reason. You know what I mean? So I know I'm still mad about that show, man.
But maybe just a gem for you for when you do hit the road. I'd never seen like how Jay like did like Reasonable Out live in concert and stuff like that. I would like to see you do like Ventilation, like the full album in a set, and like have every guest that you have like come out for that right song, and you be able to have that on film. That would be something collectible for the fans. Like, yo, we got this on DVD, and maybe you can even sell it or just keep it for a namesake. That's what I'd like to see as an artist from, because we don't see that nowadays. We don't. We see it on YouTube, but to have like I don't have a disc by me, but to have a physical disc, that's
Yeah.
something different.
Well, you know what? You don't have it physical now because everybody using their phone to record stuff too, man. So, you know what I mean? Like, even with going to a show, you see how some of the shows they telling you not to bring your phone in because they don't even want you to record. They don't even want you to record the show. So, yeah, that'd be dope. I mean, once we start able to tour and they open up everything, man, I know we gonna definitely be on the road, man. So. I'm just waiting to see what's gonna happen with this whole Corona shit. This shit,
Yeah.
oh well, fucked up right now.
So when you're in the process of like coming up to your follow up with Ventilation now, too, did you immediately start like when this was released? Like, all right, this is out, going to round two, or did you like let me just wait and soak this in?
At first, I had to wait and soak it in because, like I said, when I first, I was nervous. I didn't know how people.
Really?
Yeah, I was nervous, man, because I didn't know how people was really going. You gotta understand, this is the underground scene, so they like real particular on what they listen to and what
Yeah,
they
that's
like.
true.
You know what I'm
Very
saying?
true.
It's like if you trash, you trash. They gonna tell you. So yeah, I was nervous at first, and then when it dropped, and then I got the response back from everybody, I'm like, oh shit. So everybody was like, I need to work on my next album, but like my album process is a little bit different than everybody else's.
Yeah.
Like everybody just write and they just put shit down and they just come back to it and just put this together. That's not me. Like I gotta have a concept. I got the concept and all that shit. So now I didn't really immediately started writing right away. I did. I was working on something and then I end up taking another route and trying something else. So right now, me and Slang got a project coming up.
Oh shit. Okay. Okay. So
Yeah.
do you always want it to work with like just one? Because I noticed on Ventilation there's more than just one producer. So with this upcoming project, did you always want to work with just one producer?
I don't understand why they do that. Like me, I don't care if the beat is nice. I don't care who make it. I just want to make the album. If it fit,
Yeah.
if it fit the album, if it fit what I'm talking about, like why not? You get what I'm saying? But I get why they don't do it when it comes to the business side of it and all that shit. But me personally, I'd rather just get this producer, get this producer, get this producer, get this producer because that also show your versatility too, right? You know
Oh
what I
yeah.
mean? And what producer you sound good with, if you can sound good, because the artists know what producer they sound good with. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, I wish I could do it like that, but
We know how
yeah.
the business works sometimes.
Huh?
We know how the business is sometimes.
Yeah, you know how the business is, man. Politics as usual, so that is what it is, man. Because even then was like, I didn't think people was really gonna even really pay attention to that. Like, oh, you got this producer, but it's like we all the same kind of like crew, like squad, right? It's like boot camp clip and fucking.
Yeah.
I mean, they the same thing, right? Aren't they? Boot Camp Clip and Sean Price, and they, even though they had Boot Camp and Black Moon and this, they was basically all the same guys. You get what I'm saying? But whatever.
That's why when that BBM album come out, I was that. Ooh, I don't even. Oh my god, you're getting chills just thinking about if that ever comes out. Ooh. Now I'm assuming that you guys talked about that.
What?
BBM album, Brown Bag Money album.
We working on something. We working on a lot of things right now. We just, like I said, we haven't had the time to really link up with each other because of this whole COVID shit and all that shit. Me and Soze.
Cypher Soze. I'm glad you brought that brother up.
Yeah, me and him got something in the cooking up in the works too. We just haven't had the time to really link up. You know what I'm saying? He just had a daughter and all that stuff. So
okay.
Yeah. But yeah, we got some stuff. Like I said, once this whole, because our city locked down right now.
Yeah.
We got curfew and all that shit.
Lineups just to get bread and shit like that. Well, trust me, I know.
Nah, see, I find the grocery stores that don't be no lineups. So I'm glad. It's too goddamn cold to be waiting in a fucking lineup. That's crazy. They got people waiting in a lineup, and it's negative 30,000 degrees outside. Like, y'all crazy.
You're gonna get sick just by standing out
there.
there.
People gonna get sick. Then they ain't gonna be able to come to the grocery store. Then y'all ain't gonna have no customers. Then y'all, like, it's crazy.
It's backwards, some of the shit.
Yeah, it's just backwards, man.
So I like how you brought up Cypher Soze, man, because I don't know if you two ever thought about becoming a duo, man. But damn, yo, I have this thing for like collaborations. I'm like, these two artists would sound the same, and usually would work like that. So I would love to see you and Cypher Soze do something.
Yeah, together. Because me and him think the same way. We think the same way when it comes to music. Even when we was talking about the project, and Finn was like, "God, you guys can't do all this," and we like, "What? We want to do nothing but fucking hard fucking bullshit. We don't want to do none of that shit." So we already got the same mind. We gotta. Like I said, we got some gems in the cut. We just haven't had the time to link up. You know what I'm saying? And link up and do the work. But we're gonna have something. We're gonna have something coming out. Just be prepared. Just be patient.
Oh shit. Yeah. See, we both witnessed the era when there was like decline with merchandise. I think it was around 2005 to 2015ish, like the decline with merchandise. And what I noticed is, like, with this new renaissance, like, we're starting to see, like, the renaissance of you being able to sell CDs, cassettes, vinyls, hoodies, and it actually sells. This wasn't going on 15 years. I remember when that was declining, everyone's like, oh, it's going digital now. I was like, no, yo, everything comes full circle at the end of the day.
Because, you know, it's crazy. I just got off the phone with my cousin. He was talking to me about streaming, and I'm like, he's like, yo, people make the money with the streams. And I'm just listening to him like, yeah, but you got to have like millions and millions and millions of streams. And I said, now think about me selling a goddamn old ass fucking record that nobody fucking buys in this day and age, and I sold records. So it's like, nah, that's dope to be able to sell a physical copy of music in this era where everybody is worried about streams. You got to get so many goddamn streams. And when if you got all these people streaming your music and you can't sell no product, that don't make no goddamn sense. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's dope. It's dope.
It must be like a good feeling too, because like I'm pretty sure like half the people who buy the vinyls don't have the thing to play it on.
And I think that's a lot of it be too, because even people when I went back home and they like, nigga, you selling records? This ain't the '60s, but I said I sold records in this day and age where everybody's focused on streams, and they like, oh shit, you know what? You right. So yeah, man. I mean, record companies definitely gonna look at that. You don't think they're not gonna look at that?
Yeah.
Somebody is selling a vinyl and selling out of their vinyls. They looking at, yo, this man is selling this. He's making money off his music. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. It's dope. And to be able to have the market and to have the fans to do that, that's the only thing I'm learning is the business aspect of it with like the vinyls and having an album done and sending it in and waiting and all that stuff. So that aspect, I'm learning to have a process with that as to where if I want to do certain projects for the year, when I'm going to do them, when I'm gonna have them done, when I'm gonna go get the masters for the vinyls and all that stuff. So that's the only process I'm learning to establish how to have a process with that. But yeah, in this day and age, to be able to sell physical, it's dope, bro.
Oh yeah.
I don't care about no goddamn streams.
So what are your views on social media, knowing that you came up when there was a time where this wasn't existent, like you actually had to learn about the artist through the music.
What you mean, like?
Like before, like you know how like everyone's so accessible, like sometimes like you can hit them and sometimes you get a reply back, right? But I remember there was a time back in the day where you listen to that artist and you learn from them, from their music. It's like, oh, I never knew Pheromone had asthma.
Because artists I think because we live in a time where people gotta expose themselves so much to make people pay attention to you. And as you can see from my social media, I've never been the type of, I don't have a lot of pictures of myself.
I was gonna say you don't got that much on there, but when it's music, oh yes.
I don't want people to get distracted from the music. You get what I'm saying? When you know all this other shit about me, then you be interested in this, and then you want to know about this, and then you want to know about this fight, and then you want to know about me and my girl. You don't need to be knowing about that shit. You need to be the music. You get what I'm saying? And I think that's what makes people not want to listen to their music no more, because without music, like some of these mainstream artists, they put out music, but they got so much fuckery going on in their life that you pay attention to the fuckery more than you pay attention to the music, and they do so much fuckery that you're not even worried about the music anymore.
Yeah.
What the next dumb shit he gonna do? You get what I'm saying? So that's why I don't like to expose myself like that, because I want people to be focused and stay on the music. Like, for example, you know who's the best two artists in music who are good at that? Is Jay-Z and Drake.
Oh, okay.
We don't even know about the shit that happened with Drake because somebody else exposed that shit. But other than that, like, you don't really know nothing about their life. That's why you only, when you want to know about what they going through, you got to go listen to their music.
Yeah.
They talk about everything he go about in his music. You don't see him in no interviews. You don't see him go this. You don't see him on IG, Facebook, none of that shit. He's smart. That's how you're supposed to be. That's how the artist's supposed to. I feel like when you expose yourself too much and you put yourself out there too much, people get tired of you. You know what I'm saying? We living in the age, people see shit today and then they forget about you tomorrow. You get what I'm saying? But me, like even me, keeping myself in the mystery and not exposing myself and just keeping it to the music, that's how I like to keep my music and keep your music timeless. You get what I'm saying? Because I don't want to see me all the time and get tired of me and shit like that.
See, I like the way that you put it like that now too, because I bet you years from now you're gonna look back on Ventilation. It's like, man, that was your Thank Me Later. That was your Reasonable Doubt.
I mean, but look, if you think about it, right? Let's take this era away and take the era that when we grew up in music, the only way we really knew about them is either through music, videos, and reading magazines. But you never knew nothing about what they was going on. You were just fascinated with the music, and whatever they said in the music, that's the only thing you knew about it. It's not until people started doing the DVDs and going up to people and filming them and going to their hood. That's when that shit.
Facts.
People now that's another fascination now. So once they started doing that, it kind of added to the culture of the hip hop. So it's like now when you see this artist, you hear the music, okay, we want to see where you come from. If you really from where you get what I'm saying? So all of that it does play a part into it now. I don't like to implement it too much because like I said, it's away from your music, because now people is like, okay, we listened to his music, we wasn't sure if the music was real. Now we know it's real. What else next?
See, I don't think the average listener would think about it like that. Like,
you see what I'm saying?
Like
you gotta look at it like the movies, right? You don't know nothing about these actors unless it's like interviews or gossip. They don't really come out and expose their life because they want you to not know about their life, because they need you to, every time they come out with that character, you feed into that character, so you can never distinct of who they are as a real person when it comes to like famous celebrities.
Yo, you're spitting gems right now because if anybody out there listening, if you try to look up one of your favorite actors, you notice like they don't have social media like that.
They don't got social media, bro. They don't. They don't. They don't want. They don't want you to. They don't want you to deteriorate their mind from their artistry and they work and what they do as an actor. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I kind of take that concept from the actors. They don't want you. They want you to see that every time you see them, that's a great actor. You don't know nothing else about fucking what they like. Like, look at the whole shit with Will and Jada. You think you think Will wanted to know that shit about his life? You get what I'm saying? This is goddamn I Am Legend. This is goddamn Muhammad Ali, bro. This is goddamn Men in Black, bro. Like
Hancock, come on.
It takes away from, you get what I'm, not that it takes away that much, but it's just like, damn, you looking at this person different now. You get what I'm saying? So
well, it's like what you said about earlier too, about it being so much fuckery, you won't even focus on the music. I remember when August Alsina said that everybody was focused on the fuckery, and he was promoting an album at the same time, and nobody was talking about that album.
And everybody's gonna remember that incident. You know how much that incident people gonna remember with Will. It's gonna be remembered like his movies, bro. That's something that's never, ever gonna go away, bro. It's not. So that's why people gotta watch it as far as exposing themselves and what they expose and bringing these people into your world, because we're not living in a generation where people just look and they just automatically believe what they see. You get what I'm saying? So you get people, we live in that era, and I'm not that type of person to put something out there to make somebody believe something that's false about me. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not going to expose certain things. I feel like even though I am doing music and I am an artist and I do have to expose myself, I'm still human. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not with the heavy exposure and shit like that. I'm gonna start taking a little bit more pictures though. Like, just throwing an outfit and just taking a nice little picture. Yeah, I don't mind doing that, but yeah.
But it's like what you said now too. It makes like, instead of them fascinated with what's going on in your real, it's like, damn, like the music, man, the music, it's there.
Yeah. Some people be like, not like for example, right? Like, what's the guy? Freddie Gibbs. Like, I heard a lot of people go to his IG. Like, he make dope music. He's a dope ass artist. But another thing that he's funny. You get what I'm saying?
On IG, yeah.
So now people want to hear your music, and they probably gonna want to hear some jokes and funny shit. You get what I'm saying? So I mean, it's part of his brand and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Whatever adds to your brand is cool. Which I mean, not every exposure is good exposure, but if you using the exposure to benefit to your brand, then I don't have nothing against that. You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
A lot of people just be exposing themselves for fucking and likes and all that. I don't give a fuck about my goddamn like, because I know more people in real life than I do on my IG.
Oh yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So that's where my connection lies. Like, I don't care about the IGs and all that stuff. I just use it for my music and all that.
You use it for what it's for. Like, you don't use it for your person. You use it for strategic purposes.
Yeah, man. I want to keep people focused on the music, man.
Man, see, what I like about interviews now, it may even be like 4 or 5 seconds, but before I got into media, when I'm watching my favorite artist, they would say something inspirational. It'd be like maybe only 5 seconds, and that inspirational thing, I would stick with it. It would get me through something. So maybe there's a young man or a young woman who's a big Family Game Black fan out there and really needs to hear some encouraging words. So with that being said, I asked this question to like guests who I know will give an incredible answer with this, and I believe you're definitely one of them. So with that being said, do you have any words for somebody in a dark place looking for the
light? The best thing I can tell you when you in a dark place is man, that's really hard, because everybody dark places is different, you know what I'm saying? But for me, the first thing I can tell you to do is you can't think about it. I know it's hard not to say, but if you still have it in your mind, it's not gonna go. So you have to find, anytime you feel like you're in a dark place, you got to find something that can add some light to your life. If you like riding a bike, if you like jogging, if you like, you got to find something to do that it will take your mind off, keep yourself occupied. Find some light, find something that you can do to make, you know what I'm saying, to add some light into your life. That's the best advice I can do, because like I said, being in that state, it's kind of hard to kind of tell somebody what to do unless they got people around them that's like always, you know, I'm looking out for them and making sure they good, because I was fortunate to have that, you know what I mean? So having good people around you, but you always have to, if you in the dark, no, you in the dark by yourself, so you have to get yourself out of that dark, and you can't depend on nobody else to get you out of that, but you have to find something that you like, because we all like something. You get what I'm saying? Whatever you like to do, take your mind off of that. That will be my best solution. And once you do that, if you feel like you need help, go get you some counseling. Go talk to a therapist. Go talk to somebody. Go find a close family member. Find somebody, you know what I'm saying? Find somebody you can talk to get that darkness out of you, because a lot of people be in dark places because they holding on to dark shit. You get what I'm saying? They holding on to stuff that's in their life that's been dark, but you can't hold on to that. That's the one thing I learned about dark. What's the opposite of dark?
The light.
What's the opposite of good?
Evil.
What's the opposite of sun?
Dark.
What's the opposite of life?
Death.
So you got to understand that's life. And if we don't understand that balance of life, we'll always be in a dark spot. Because with life, it's going to be light, it's going to be dark, it's going to be sun, it's going to be moon, it's going to be life, it's going to be death. That's why they tell you hope for the best and prepare for the worst. You see why they tell you prepare for the worst? You know why they tell you that, right?
No, I don't actually.
They already telling you to prepare for the worst, because bad shit gonna happen.
Regardless.
You get what I'm saying? It's gonna happen. So when you already prepare for bad things to happen, when it hit, it won't affect you as much, because you have to understand that's life. That's the balance of life. Is good, evil, night, day, good, bad, life, death. So you have to understand. That's why they say everybody wants everything to be good, happy, the best, right? That's why they say we hope for that shit, because we know realistically that's not how shit goes. You get what I'm saying? And I think we forget that. Because if we didn't forget that, we wouldn't let so much things affect us. And the things that affect us, we got to look at the situation of what caused the situation, how the situation happened. I know a lot of situations be unfortunate, but a lot of shit do be preventional too. You get what I'm saying? So it's just a balance, bro. But when you're in that dark space, you just gotta find something that can bring some light into your life and get some help. If you feel like you need help, go get some help. Like I said, the brain is a muscle too. You know what I'm saying? So they got doctors for that. You get what I'm saying? It's a muscle. It's a body part. It's inside you. People think because we can't physically work on it
that it can't be worked on. Yeah.
That it can't get sick. Brains get sick too. You know what I mean? So if you feel like that, anytime you feel like you're in a dark place, I feel like you are sick mentally. You get what I'm saying? For you to feel like that, if you alive. You get what I'm saying? If you alive and you feel dark and you feel low, and that means that your brain is sick. It needs help. It needs some type of attention. So get attention, man. Go get you some real medical attention if you really feel like that.
Man, I never expected to get such an in-depth answer like that. Wow, that was...
It's serious, because like I'm only speaking from my own experiences. You get what I'm saying? That's what all ventilation was about.
Yeah.
Me going through so much traumatizing things, and me not being able to deal with it and not being able to let it go and harboring on it. And mentally, I'm healthy physically, but I wasn't healthy because mentally I'm not right in my right mind, and my mind is not mentally healthy, and I make irrational decisions because my mind is not functioning. It's like driving a car that got bad brakes and all that shit. You're just gonna fuck up other shit. You get what I'm saying? So the brain is a muscle, so people have to know that it's a muscle too, and it can get fixed. Go see doctors. Go get some help. Go get a therapist. Talk to somebody.
And I like how we got a therapeutic album by you, by Ventilation, and I'm glad that we got this type of album because it's needed. Like, it's something that you can look back on and say, damn, yo, like, I really put my blood, sweat, and tears into this project. It sold, people related to it, and I found a whole new fan base because of it. That's what I like about this project. So I already know you're already going to have a break 10 next years, 15 years ahead of you.
Yeah, man. I just basically, it's like a Polaroid picture. You take your negative and turn it to a positive and just paint the picture for people to see. And I painted this picture and it was beautiful artwork. So that's all I did. You just got to learn how to, I just took something negative, you know what I'm saying, and put it into my music and look what manifested from that. So that's another thing too, learning how to take something negative and putting it into something positive, because that, it goes to show you that all that negative energy that you felt and you went through and you put it into something and then look what came out of that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm living testament to that shit. Like, I put a lot of shit that I didn't want to. Me talking about my brother getting shot in the head, like, that was something dear and deep to me. Like, even my sisters hearing that, they like the song, but they remember the incident so vividly, like, you know what I mean? But they still like the song. So that wasn't real easy for me to talk about and put it on album and put it out for the world to hear about that, because that was something that traumatized me. But I mean, I made something beautiful out of it. And then Ace put his verse on it, and Ace was talking about stuff that I didn't even know, and he's been going through cancer. And then when I talked to him about it, he told me the situation, like the whole situation with his mom and what she went through and stuff. And I'm like, damn. So it kind of like, it worked. It coincided. And the song came out a beautiful song. So.
Damn, I never see this. So anytime that you want to come back on, promote anything, all you got my number. All you got to do is just like, yo, low, do round two. Because the platform is yours just as much as any Canadian out there. Because I want to help expose you guys to the western side now too, because down in the west we don't really have a Daniel Son or Cypher Soze or an Ace on Eastwood. That's why when you said you're not only of Toronto but all of Canada.
And you said where you at? You in
Saskatchewan.
See that shit far as hell. It's cold. Is it cold as fuck?
It's not cold as fuck.
Yeah. I couldn't do it. Toronto was cold enough for me, but goddamn up. Now you see why motherfuckers think Canadians live in goddamn igloos.
Yeah, I can't.
Goddamn cold. Like, I used to be like, people like, yeah, I think we live in igloos, and I don't know why. But then when the wintertime get here, and I say, okay, I see why. It's cold, but yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. We're not just representing for Toronto, man. We represent for all of Canada, man, and that's dope that you way over there, and you know what I'm saying. You listen to our music and you tune to our music, so that's dope. You know what I mean? So
we're not at any time, but if not only that, there's also certified legends that's been on the show, and they tap into like what I post on Instagram. So what I like to say is now too, I remember when I had Ace on Eastwood and Planet Asia on the same show, there was another guest that was on there, and then Planet Asia heard of him. Next thing you know, Planet Asia is working with this artist. So maybe one day, maybe Pharaoh Mantra, OC will see this, but damn, I like Family Game Black. Let me reach out to him.
Man, I hope so, man, because it's crazy that some of the people that's been like messaging me on IG and shit and then linking up, hollering at me and shit. So yeah, man, this is definitely dope. That's why when I seen this shit, I said, yo, I have to holler at you, because like I said, when I say we have people who push this, we need, you know what I'm saying, more people like you to hear our music and push it out to the masses. You get what I'm saying? Because just like we got a voice, your voice is very important too. You get what I'm saying? Because people going to be looking to you as what music to listen to, what artists to listen to. You know what I'm saying? So you play, just as much as I play a part, you play a real big part in this shit too. And I appreciate that you definitely tapped in with the music and you put it out to the masses for the masses to definitely take it in. It's dope, man.
Hey, man, if I can help somebody become greatness and actually become legendary in life, yo, man, I could just say, I'm like, yo, seen this guy's growth. Good enough for me,
But
man.
like I said, you legendary in yourself because it's like I said, it's like you got the artists, you got the kind of how would I want to call it? Like the coaches to kind of like stare to show people what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like you play a big part in this. You got to understand your role in this. It's like chess. Everybody plays their part, and if you understand where your part is at, trust me, you'll be a legend in this shit too, bro. Because like I said, your perspective on this is similar to a lot of artists who do this music, and a lot of people who want to get into this music will understand the real of the music. You get what I'm saying? And you play a pivotal part in that. You get what I'm saying? So you're gonna be legendary too, bro. Trust me.
I appreciate it. When we get to Joe Rogan studio, I'll invite BBM. And I was like, yo guys, party at the studio. Let's get on.
Yeah, because you see how you put your OG on to Danielson, and boom, he coming back listening to Danielson. So
Yeah, that
like
shit fucked me up. I ain't gonna find no
but you gotta understand that's the power that you have. You get what I'm saying? Because the older generation feel like the younger generation don't know what time it is. You get what I'm saying? But because you know what time it is, you like, yo, OG, check this out. And he like coming back like, yo, why you been ain't put me on it? And like, you know what I mean? So like I said, you gotta understand that, bro.
I'm gonna take that one around, fam. Remember that.
Man, make sure you do, bro, because like I said, man, your voice and you doing stuff like this plays a big part too, bro. Because like I said, you tapped into a market that I don't got. I'm tapping into a market that we both tapping into markets that we don't got. So you get what I'm saying? When people see me and they see you, they're gonna be like, okay, when it comes to music and interviews and he got the real artist, or he got the good artist, or he got the quality artist that puts you in a position too. So understand that, bro.
I will, man. I appreciate you dropping gems even on me. So before we close this out, is there anything that you want to let the people know where they can support you, put some bread in your pocket? I'll put all the links to Gold Era and stuff in the link below, people. But I want you, the man, to say
right now, not yet because I haven't got the business shit, and I sold out all of my vinyls. I still have some
shit!
CDs.
Okay, so it's not even buy. Oh shit!
The vinyls are gone, but I still have some CDs left. But right now, for the next project, it's definitely gonna be some merch and all that stuff. Like I said, I literally just, hey, you want to rap? Okay, let's go, and then put the album out, and then it's like, so now I'm learning everything, trying to get the paperwork and all this shit, and yeah. So, but the next album is definitely gonna be merch and all that shit.
All right, man. Wouldn't be surprised to see your website.
I got some clothing line ideas too. That's gonna tie in with what I got going on too. But I'm not gonna get too much into that.
Yeah, please save some stuff for a surprise.
Yeah, I'm gonna save stuff for that. But yeah, y'all just get ready for the next project that's coming up. Should be coming up sometime April, May. We're looking to push this out. But yeah, we definitely gonna have some merch and all that stuff.
Definitely gonna have you back and we'll break it all down track by track. I will quote some of your lyrics, write down every song. We'll get right into it when that second album drops.
Okay. Oh, we were supposed to do that tonight too?
Oh no, what I like to do for a first time artist is like I like to like get like the feeling out from it, and then when they come back for the second one, it's like let's break it down.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So that's basically it, man. Y'all just like I said, y'all gonna see a lot more of me this year. You get what I'm saying? I'm just trying to put a little bit more work into when I'm not at work and shit. Like so much shit happened with the corona and shit, so that kind of put me in a better advantage as far as time wise because I work a lot and shit. So yeah, definitely gonna see.
Hey man, we can't wait, man. You're the ventilation, fan for life right here. So man, this is another classic interview and one of the most in-depth and prolific interviews from one of the most prolific artists from the Canadian side, Family Game Black. We appreciate you.
All right, Lo, you be good, bro.
One time.